Hello and welcome to another top 10 video from Football Weekender. Players from Norway have been a staple in the Premier League ever since the first round of fixtures in August 1992, and the country has produced its fair share of club legends and cult heroes. I'll be taking a look at the cream of the crop in this video. This is the top 10 Premier League Norwegians. Before we start, I just want to shout out one player who doesn't make the top 10, but is my own personal favourite, Vegard Hegem. If anyone remembers watching him at Liverpool between 1998 and 2000, before all the injuries got him, you'll know what I'm talking about. Getting forward from right back, beating players and scoring some great solo goals. Also, before he signed for Liverpool, he scored the winner for Rosenborg against AC Milan in the San Siro in the Champions League. Sadly, his hamstring went and that was that, but the streets don't forget and neither do I. What a player. But enough of me reminiscing, let's get going with the top 10.
Number 10, Brede Hangeland.
We start our list with a colossus at centre-back. Fulham were in the middle of a relegation dogfight when they picked up giant centre-half Brede Hangeland from FC Copenhagen for 3.3 million in 2008. The giant central defender helped to shore things up at the back and played a key role as the Cottagers managed to avoid relegation despite looking doomed at times. An obvious threat at set pieces due to his height, Hangeland managed an impressive 6 goals during the 2010-11 Premier League season. He was also involved in one of the most bizarre incidents in Fulham's history and Premier League history. During the 2013-14 season, the Norwegian was diagnosed with a slight thigh injury. The story then goes that Fulham manager Felix Magath told Hangeland that the best way to treat this problem was to rub some cheese on it. Magath forced the defender out of the club in 2014 and was fired himself not that long after, but Hangeland remains a Fulham legend.
Number 9, Jan Åge Fjørtoft.
This man is a real fan favourite of the early Premier League era. Swindon Town paid Rapid Vienna a club record £500,000 to bring Jan Åge Fjørtoft to England in 1993, and he became a cult hero at the county ground with his goals and trademark aeroplane celebration. The Robins conceded a record 100 goals during their only Premier League season in 1993-94, but Fjørtoft did his best to score some at the other end, finishing the campaign with a respectable 12 goals in 36 games. His next spell in the top division was with an exciting Middlesbrough team alongside Juninho, playing in the first match at their new Riverside Stadium. And his last Premier League club was Barnsley, joining them for their only top-tier adventure in 1998. All three probably had the most exciting periods in their club's history when Fjørtoft was there, and he contributed to those special times with his goals, charisma and cult hero status.
Number 8, Tore André Flo.
Another tall striker on this list comes in at number 8. Spoiler alert, he won't be the last. Tore André Flo was quick, powerful, direct, and despite his height, preferred the ball at his feet. Chelsea signed the forward from Brann in 1997 for 300 grand. The fee was an absolute bargain from day one as he scored against Coventry City on his debut. The team went on to win the League Cup and the Cup Winners' Cup that season, Flo scoring 2 goals away at Real Betis in the quarter-final and starting the final against Stuttgart. This was in Chelsea's pre-Roman Abramovich era, so European adventures and glory were not something that were taken for granted. A hat-trick in a 6-1 win against Spurs at White Hart Lane will also be warmly remembered by Chelsea fans. Flo left for Rangers in the year 2000 for a club record 12 million fee and then later returned to the Premier League with Sunderland, but he never quite found the same level of performance after leaving Chelsea. If he hadn't left for Scotland, who knows how his career would have progressed at Stamford Bridge. Regardless, he's still a cult hero.
Number 7, Morten Gamst Pedersen.
There are a few players with a magic left foot on this list, and the first of those comes in at number 7. Morten Gamst Pedersen signed for Blackburn Rovers in 2004 and initially struggled to make an impact, but will go on to be one of their best players in the Premier League era. A left midfielder with an eye for a spectacular goal, one of the highlights of his Blackburn career was scoring both goals in a 2-1 win over Manchester United at Old Trafford, the winner being a trademark powerful left foot strike into the roof of the net. Such performances saw Pedersen regularly linked with big moves away from Ewood Park, but he stayed loyal to the club right up until the end, eventually leaving to Turkey on a free transfer. Pedersen played 288 games for Rovers in his 9-year spell at the club and goes down as a legend of their last period in the Premier League.
Number 6. Ronnie Johnson.
4 Premier League titles, an FA Cup and a Champions League isn't a bad trophy haul for our man who comes in at number 6. When Ronnie Johnson signed for Manchester United from Besiktas for 1.2 million in 1996, he was joining a huge club with tons of history, but he became part of making history. United swept all before them on their way to a historic Premier League, FA Cup and Champions League treble, and Johnson was a key member of the side, starting both the FA Cup final at Wembley and the Champions League final in Barcelona. Primarily a central defender, he was also trusted by Sir Alex Ferguson to play in central midfield when needed and chipped in with 7 goals during his 99 league appearances. After leaving Manchester United in 2002, Johnson had fairly forgettable spells with Aston Villa and Newcastle also in the Premier League, but it's his 1999 season that'll never be forgotten.
Number 5. Martin Erdegaard.
We've got our first current Premier League player at number 5. Martin Erdegaard burst onto the scene as a 15-year-old wonder kid at Stroms Godset and was then snapped up by Real Madrid, but it wasn't until his move to Arsenal that he really started to fulfil his potential. Since his move to North London, he's become one of the stars of an exciting young Arsenal team and developed into one of the best midfielders in the Premier League. A technical playmaker with excellent touch, technique and dribbling ability, he's also a leader. Erdegaard was named Arsenal club captain in 2022. Now, on top of his leadership and creativity, he's also added goals to his game, meaning he's pretty much the full package. When Erdegaard first came to the attention of the footballing world as a teenager, he was marked out as someone with potentially world-class talent. There's been some teething problems, but he is well on the path to fulfilling that potential.
Number 4. John Arne Riise.
The player with arguably the hardest shot in Premier League history comes in at number 4. It's John Arne Riise and his hammer of a left foot. Comfortable at left back and left midfield, Liverpool signed Riise from Monaco in 2001 and the fans quickly took to him. In his debut season he bagged 8 goals, including an angled strike in the Merseyside derby against Everton and an absolute pile driver of a free kick against Manchester United. The crossbar at the Anfield Road end is still shaking from that one. He was also part of the team that lifted the 2005 Champions League in Istanbul, providing the assist for the first goal which then sparked the most legendary comeback in the history of the competition. He was also involved in one of the more infamous incidents in Liverpool's recent history. Craig Bellamy attacked Riise with a golf club on a training trip to the Algarve, but the players quickly put it behind them and both scored in a 2-1 win over Barcelona at the Nou Camp. During his 7 seasons at Anfield, Riise scored 31 goals. Pretty much all of them were absolutely spectacular, and he goes down as a club legend, as one of the heroes of Istanbul.
Number 3. Henning Berg.
Wherever Henning Berg goes, trophies usually aren't that far away. Kenny Dalglish brought Berg to Blackburn Rovers in 1993, and 2 years later he became part of their great 1995 Premier League winning team. Another 2 years later, he was off to Manchester United for a record £5 million fee and swept up more trophies as part of the 1999 treble-winning squad. By winning the Premier League that season, Berg became the first player to win the Premier League with 2 different clubs. It was back to Blackburn again in 2000, and in 2002 he captained Rovers to a League Cup win, completing the full set of honours in English football. Versatile, consistent and reliable, Berg embodied everything that English teams liked about Norwegian players in the first 10 years of the Premier League.
Number 2. Erling Braut Haaland.
At the time of recording, Erling Braut Haaland has scored 28 Premier League goals in 26 appearances in his very first season. By the time that this video is released, he'll probably have already broken the single season goal scoring record in the Premier League, such is the extent that he is dominating the division. Signed by Manchester City from Borussia Dortmund in 2022 for just over 50 million, the fee was an absolute bargain. No defence has been able to handle Haaland's combination of speed, strength, intelligence and ruthless finishing. His dad, Alf Inge Haaland, played for 10 years in England with spells at Nottingham Forest, Leeds United and also at City, and was a good player, but Erling looks set to become one of the all-time greats. He's unique and unstoppable, and I'm pretty sure that in a few years' time he'll be at number 1 on this list, but not just yet.
Number 1. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer.
It's the man who sealed Manchester United's 1999 treble who's at number 1. It was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's winner against Bayern Munich in the Nou Camp in the Champions League final that cemented his place in Manchester United folklore. He scored 91 league goals for the club, and it would have been more if injuries hadn't hit the end of his career so hard. 4 of those goals came in an appearance off the bench in 1998. Solskjaer was sent on as a substitute away at Nottingham Forest in the 72nd minute, with United 4-1 up at the time, and he was told to keep possession and see the game out. Instead, he scored 4 goals in 12 minutes and sealed an 8-1 win. It was performances like that which earned his Super Sub nickname and led to him becoming a firm fan's favourite. His goals contributed to winning 6 Premier League titles and made him a club legend forever. And that's why Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is the greatest Premier League Norwegian, making him number 1 on this list. So that's it. Do you agree with the list? Who did I miss out, and was the top spot correct? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to check out the top 10 playlist for more videos like this, or take a look at some of my Football Weekender vlogs all over Europe. Please give the video a big thumbs up like and subscribe to the channel for more top 10s and Football Weekenders. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one.